Well, as Mikel Arteta confirmed to us that today an assessment on Tomiyasu is going to be made, and then the doctors are going to come and give us a full report on whether he's going to be back this season or not, and that has been revealed by sources close to Arsenal. Then William Saliba, his assessment is delaying, but it's not all going to be something very bad for Arsenal that is going to be out like Tomiyasu. Then Martin Odegaard has talked about the huge Arsenal bounce back after being knocked out of the Carabao Cup, and they came back and really put four past a side called Crystal Palace in another London derby that was played at the Emirates. Welcome to you, Rokani Media Football guys. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Rokani David is my name, and let's rock and roll. That's it, because it's really the day that the Lord has made it happen, and we are here to let you know about what Arsenal is all about in what we call the Arsenal News Show. Today, I've not done stories of any other teams, that I think tomorrow I'm going to really bring you more stories concerning transfers as brought to us by Fabrizio Romano. Now, one of the sources that has talked to us is an Arsenal correspondent that quoted Mikel Arteta after the game of Crystal Palace. And Mikel Arteta had the following to say. He was asked on if Tomiyasu will play again this season. He told us that obviously the doctor is assessing him. We've had one assessment. They need to have another assessment tomorrow. That is today, but it's not looking good for sure. So for Tomiyasu, it was not looking good for sure. And we have a man known as... Sorry. Where is that tweet? Where is it? I need to throw in on your screen, guys. He's the correspondent for Arsenal. I think he's known as... What is his name? He's known as Team News and Hicks. He has really gone ahead to really reveal to us that Tomiyasu is not going to return, and don't expect him to play any part in the Arsenal season anymore. He's telling us that Takahiro Tomiyasu requires surgery on his knee injury and will miss the remainder of the season. That's the sad story coming in from a source known as Team News and Tick. Do you know why I will go ahead and really rate this guy highly? He goes ahead and really tells us that so-and-so is going to start an hour too, and obviously the lineup comes out when that is what is on the paper. That's so he's having credible sources, because the moment you reach a level of getting the leaked team news, that shows you that you can get that team news on those players if at all they are really injured. And it's telling us that Tomiyasu is going to undergo any surgery, and you know what any surgery is all about. Remember Jesus, he got a new surgery on the 7th of December, and when did he return? Jesus returned on the last weekend but one. I think it was the 11th. He returned on the 12th of March. So January, 3 months out. Now, if I told you to count 3 months out for Tomiyasu to return, April, May, June. The season ends towards the end of May. So I think he's really out, and we have to go ahead and really accept that the player is totally out. That is Tomiyasu, he's totally out. So it's very bad news for Arsenal. Why? They loaned Cedric Soares to Fulham, and they can't get him back, meaning that they left with only one right back option, that is Ben White. But yesterday on Sunday, when Arsenal was beating Crystal Palace 4-1, we saw Thomas Partey being played as a right back. Maybe it's one of those improvisions that Mikel Arteta is looking at to make. That's it. He's one of those provisions that Mikel Arteta is looking to make. And when he makes them, I think that will call for Jorginho to be played as a CDM. I think it will work out well for him, because that means he will push Ben White into the central defense alongside Gabriel Magalhaes. Then Zinchenko will be playing as a left back. So I think that is one of those systems that Mikel Arteta is looking at to see to it that he doesn't see himself affected by the game or by the injury of Tomiyasu, but it's a very huge injury blow. But to me, I think Ben White is not an injury-prone player. That's it. I believe that he's going to come back strong, and Mikel Arteta has been favored by the omission of Ben White from the England national team, though I've seen very many people coming out and saying that Ben White should have been called. But if you are Arsenal, you'll be celebrating this because he's going to rest for 2 weeks, meaning that every week he's going to be playing one game. Arsenal is out of the UEFA Europa League. If at all Arsenal was still in Europe, then it would have sent a very bad message to Mikel Arteta, because he needed to find out how he's going to really use Ben White sparingly. You get? And he has shown us that he has even come up with a system of playing Thomas Partey as a right back. And I think he's preparing for the game of Liverpool and Man City. Those two games, I think he doesn't want to risk to play Rob Holding into the central defense. So I think he'll play Thomas Partey as the right back, then Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes in the central defense, as Jorginho will be seated into the CDM position of Arsenal. So what a manager this guy is, Arteta. And when he did it yesterday against Crystal Palace, I just got to know that maybe he's looking for those two games when he returns from the international break, because there are two games there, versus Liverpool away and versus Man City away. Those two games are really pivotal. He's playing Liverpool on the 9th of April and playing Man City on the 26th of April. So if they can get positive results from those two games, I think they can find themselves in a position of really winning the league even before it comes to an end. So that is the injury update about Tomiyasu, and let's wait and see whether even the website of Arsenal is going to release the same story today, because it can't wait. If at all is undergo a surgery, they're going to come out and really put out that story immediately. That is today, and we'll be here bringing you the story as far as it's concerned. Then Mikel Arteta had the following to say: that looking at Tomiyasu, he's not someone who exaggerates things. He was really concerned straight away, and we are concerned. We hope William Saliba is going to be better. It's going to be better news, but again, we have to wait until today to understand a better picture. Now, for even William Saliba, it's going to be announced today whether he's going to be out for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks or not. Remember, he's having a back injury, and players that have suffered from the back injury, most of them, they really claim that it's a very bad injury. Why? You can play with it, but it is really very bad to be having a back injury because it rarely heals. It needs you to rest and then it will heal. So I think for William Saliba, it doesn't really look worse, but he's going to be out for some weeks. But the number of weeks that Saliba is going to spend outside without playing the game of football are going to be revealed to us very soon, I think on the website of Arsenal. Before the end of this week, we will be knowing what this is all about. Then Mikel Arteta was asked whether Arsenal can proceed with his injuries as they've come in through, that is Saliba and Tomiyasu. He said, we have lost players. We lost Jesus for 4 months. We lost Thomas Partey for 1 month, for 1.5 months. We lost Zinchenko for 1.5 months. We lost El Nini for 6 to 8 months. We lost El Nini for 6 to 8 months. Now we lost Edin Ketia, and now we lost Tomiyasu and William Saliba. So he's just trying to let you know that if they lost their most important players, that is Jesus for 3 months, Zinchenko for 1.5 months, Thomas Partey for 1.5 months, how come they should be afraid of them not having Tomiyasu and Saliba, meaning that he's so much prepared for the situation and is really ready to get Arsenal to the levels they're supposed to be playing on. So that is Mikel Arteta, and obviously has gone ahead to issue that update of Tomiyasu, and again we've been told that the season of Tomiyasu has come to an end, and it's not good news for Arsenal fans. That's it, because having only one right back is really hard, because at least for Rob Holding you can really rely on him, because in those games that are not against Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool, you can really believe in him and obviously play him in the central defense alongside Gabriel Magalhaes because he looked great against Crystal Palace and he was one of those best performers on the field of play. But in these games concerning Leeds, Southampton, I think he can come in through and really play well in the central defense. So I think for him there is a cover-up. And when Arsenal returns from international break, the first game they are playing, it's going to be against Leeds. So that means Saliba might find himself back when Arsenal is playing Liverpool at Anfield on the 9th, I think it's going to be around the 8th or 9th, on the 8th or 9th of April. And that will be good news for a side known as Arsenal. Now, Martin Odegaard has talked about how they made that comeback for the Arsenal team as they were facing a side known as Crystal Palace. That was on Sunday. They won that game by 4-1 after being knocked out of the UEFA Europa League. He said to TalkSport that, I think Thursday night was a bit tough for everyone. We wanted to do something special in the Europa. The bounce back straight away, I think, just shows that we are a group of hungry players. Now, this is like the fourth player talking about the hunger that Arsenal players are really having. The first player to talk about it was Trossard. Now second it was Bukayo Saka in the video I just did that you guys have watched massively. And now, again, it's Odegaard, the captain, talking about the hunger they're really having as a team. So to me, I believe it's really into a very comfortable situation that they found themselves to go past Crystal Palace easy like that. But the hunger they're having to win the trophy is the one that is making them look like that as a wounded lion. And obviously Arsenal on Sunday was a wounded lion and reacted like a wounded lion. We've seen very many teams coming in when they are really wounded, but they don't act like wounded teams. That's it. So lastly, Martin Odegaard had the following to say, that it was a long night as well, extra time and all that. So it was tough. It was a tough one and to take. It was a tough one to take. But we came in the next day and wanted to bounce back. So everyone was ready for Crystal Palace. That's what we did today. Now, it might sound easy for that comeback, but playing against Crystal Palace is not an easy nut to crack. They are a very, very hard team to beat, if at all you know, because they are really good at defending. Though they've not been scoring goals, and they've scored their first goal, I think, in how many games? Ever since we came from the World Cup, I think they're not going to have to score very many goals. But they made it hard for teams like Man City, Manchester United, and many others to really collect points at their stadium, that is Selhurst Park. So I think Odegaard is talking about the comeback, and they wanted it, and they obviously got it in full swing. It has seen them go 8 points clear ahead of City. That was the importance of that game. Mikel Arteta hinted about it. They need to win it, because if they win it, they go 8 points ahead of City. But City is having a game in hand. I think they are playing that game in hand midweek when the players return from the international break. So guys, your thoughts on Tomiyasu's season coming to an end are welcome in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about Odegaard talking about the Arsenal comeback against Crystal Palace after losing on penalties to Sporting Lisbon? And lastly, your thoughts about William Saliba and his injury. Do you think it's serious, or he's going to be back for Arsenal after the international break? So guys, smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Good morning, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I'm out. Good morning, good night.